How's it going, everybody? Good to see everybody in the chat. I'm gonna start trying to learn all these names. Got a hopefully a kind of short and sweet episode tonight. This is kind of the format. So every single month we'll do kind of maybe one independent podcast. We'll do two podcasts together. We'll do another kind of show either on our own independent, or we might get out there and like test some chemicals as we start having some of that stuff come in, which we do have some announcements potentially. So yeah, tonight it'll just be me. Christy is uh potentially going to come on at the end or something like that, but there was just basically a few things I wanted to try to like talk to everybody about. There seemed to be kind of a lot of questions and stuff maybe that I just wanted to kind of get to. Just about honest about myself, about my affiliation with Thor, kind of what our plan is moving forward with Honest Car Care. Obviously, it's I see the comments and stuff like that. There's definitely been some people that are kind of concerned with like the format in which I make videos and stuff like that. So all this is very new as far as like YouTube and stuff like that. I'm used to making a little slightly different formats, not necessarily like your long form stuff. And there's definitely a difference in the style, and I think it's going to take a lot for us to get kind of used to each other. It's not that I don't make long form videos. I have a lot of videos that are like really long, 20 minute videos. I just make them vertically. So I always say I don't make long form content, but what I don't do is really make landscape content. So anyways, I just want to kind of look at the chat real quick, and looks like everybody's just kind of saying hi. It looked like last week we actually had about 237 comments, which I think is pretty phenomenal. And I just want to say thank you guys for that. There was a lot of different kind of tones to the conversation. There was certainly some, and I hate the way that this is angled. I promise you guys next week I'm gonna like move the camera up. I've done everything I can. You can see things are clean. But as I'm reading here, it's gonna kind of just go back and forth. So I'll do my best. But there was like some different tones, definitely. So like there was everything from empathy, solidarity to encourage me, like I said, to just be my authentic self. And there was certainly a lot of skepticism. There's some people concerned about trust, different things like that. So it's certainly something that I want to speak on, because it's kind of hard to have an honest car care podcast, or a keep it honest podcast if you guys feel like you can't trust me or what I'm saying, if you guys maybe don't understand the why behind either what we're doing or what I'm doing or why I'm here, or a lot of different things like that. So we're going to just kind of scroll down. I think Christy is kind of man in the chat. I'm definitely not used to running everything on. Like, I just get a little nervous because I don't want to like mess up their channel or anything. So for sure. And then there was other things that were, people were saying that we just need to focus on, like clarity. People want to understand like where the content's going. The brand kind of just feels a little bit scattered. If you're around me a lot, you know that I'm usually processing quite a bit. And, it's just sometimes I can be all over the place. So I'll do a little bit better at trying to hone that in. But, it's just kind of one of those things that makes me me. And I try not to go too crazy, dwelling on some of the things that I can and can't control. Right. So let's just get to the questions, right? So I think one of our biggest commenters, it was between like Tool Cartel and Jayhawker Z. So he kind of hit us with a pretty good layup as far as like what's the first product that we want to work on. And I know that we've touched base on it a little bit, and I think that's why it's important to have Christy in the back, just in case. I don't want to say anything like it's not me doing it, it's not her doing it. Like we were working together. I'll tell you a story if we get around to it, but we had a good time today. I think it was about 3 hours, 2 hours that we spent, and just talk about products and kind of talk about the brand direction. We were able to And I was able to touch base with Jamie and Eddie as she went back to school. First off and foremost, though, before I get into anything about me, I need to let you guys know something in case you are not aware. But Christy was able to bring home a trophy, a plaque, if you will, this week. She is the like district teacher of the year. She was nominated, and there's a whole tournament kind of thing that they're doing. And I just want to, if everybody can just give her a W in the chat, hand clap emoji. She really is a superstar, and I'm just really blessed to be next to her on this podcast. She is absolutely the talent, and I'm just so proud, like, to be like in the same, epicenter as her, because she just crushes it, man. Everything that she's processing, everything that she's doing, to perform at such a high level, and be consistent, and then still, up with me until 10 her time, midnight my time, 1 in the morning, and we're just going over products and direction, and we talked about all the comments that we got into this last time. So it's been something else, and I just want to say that congrats, Christy. It's well deserved, and I really hope that you continue making it through the next phase and representing, all your students and your faculty in great fashion. All right, so let's jump into kind of the first product that we're going to work on. Well, Christy kind of took the lead to this, and it's really been a mixture of both of us. So I really want to make a really unique snow foam, and that's probably all I'll say about that, because that will be something that it doesn't exist in the market right now. And I truly don't know my left and right limits, but that's one of those that we'll just leave there. And we're gonna make a really cool snow foam that doesn't exist yet on the market. And that's one thing that we talked about. And then the other thing, me and her both just like love degreasers. We love cleaning wheels and tires. So I think that's where we're going to focus on. And the next episode that we do will be more of a podcast style, where both of us are kind of going back and forth and talking kind of like this last week. And then to round out the month, I believe that's when we'll do kind of our first episode of building honesty, or whatever we're going to call it. And that's going to be more of like in real time, we're testing products. We're showing you guys kind of what we're working on. If we have an open partnership with somebody, then we may disclose who we're working on that with. But we've kind of talked in the last really just today, about kind of the struggles that we've had. Not that we can't find people to partner with and things like that, but me and her are just like learning, I think, a lot about how this industry works, and everything that it takes to get to certain places, to be able to sell chemicals. There's a lot of things behind it, and a lot of people don't want to give up that positioning, to work with a brand that's unknown, maybe unpredictable. There's a lot of investment in people's time, and so we're kind of looking and seeing, are we going to partner with some different people? Are we just going to go the private label route? She's got a lot of connections, obviously. The House of Rags has some different connections, and then I've got a few friends that are chemists, and we're kind of just calling everybody out and seeing if they can make some of the things that we have kind of planned, and we're just going to start testing this in real time with you guys next time, here in a couple weeks. So we're going to really try to make that a production. It's going to be somewhat pre-recorded, and we'll be both in the chat, or maybe we'll just kind of drop in at the end, depending on the length of what that looks like. So definitely excited to get to those first products, but I can almost guarantee it's going to be something to clean wheels and tires, and maybe just introduce you to kind of what that system looks like. So the next thing that Hawker asked, it looks like, was, how many times can you watch soap and rinseless videos? I never see another rinseless video. I'll be happy. So I don't know. I don't really watch too many rinseless videos. I watched one today. Keeve did, with like this little pop out. Me and him, looks like, revealed something very similar. It was like a pop out kind of rolling bucket that was like everything was all automated. So that was pretty cool. So So this is funny, and I know where it comes from, right? So Chingy Blingy last week he asked, "Will we be able to eat and drink HCC products?" Well, I'm going to tell you guys something. You probably should never eat or drink any chemicals that you use to also detail your car. And if you see somebody doing that type of stuff on the internet, probably just don't watch them anymore or something like that because they're just weirdos. Um, I'd love to see honest car care SDS sheets that are full and complete. Yeah, we will be as transparent as we can and then some, and that's some of the stuff that we're going to try to do on the back end. um, we'll be the most, hopefully the most transparent brand out there for sure. I think that's our goal, right? Is in being honest, being transparent. I feel like that's what the public wants, and that's going to be outside of the charity, that's going to be something that really hopefully helps us stand out in a good way. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so let's get to the hard stuff, right? Well, Chingy Billing asked one more kind of layup, and then we'll get to a harder one, right? So he says, "Can we get a grape Kool-Aid flavored APC?" And I'm going to let you know something, that there's already a grape Kool-Aid scented product on the market, and it is insane. It's by Nighthawk, and it's called SGS, and that stuff smells like I could drink the bottle. So FYI, it already exists, but maybe. Um, Cool, cool. So let's get into like the kind of the first blow here, right? So it says, will we be can we expect to see heckler Gary or community uplifting Gary? So there is some speculation, or um, there's some concern that like I just heckler and get people riled up, and that they want to see I'm assuming more of a community uplifting version of myself. And you know, I think it should be pretty clear that we're here, and the mission is charity first. We're not here to be the best detailing brand of all time. We're going to do our damn best to make out some good chemicals, and really create a product that everybody can be proud of. But in regards to the heckler version of me, yeah, I try not to do the heckler stuff too much. If you look at kind of the total body of work, and I don't expect anybody to, but I've put out at this point thousands of videos, and I would say maybe a handful of them were in the realm of let's get some attention in a negative way. The reality is, right? When you feel like you have something good and you have a point and you have a message, the data says if you come out soft and you come out very monotone and just matter of fact, or buried in the details of, if I lead with, today I'm going to sit down and talk to you guys about the psychology of why you buy products. You guys have already switched. you know you guys have already went to the next video, right? And if I word it with, the way that you buy products is pretty dumb, maybe you hang around a while, and maybe by the end of it you kind of see my message, and that's the way that you reach it. So um yeah, man, uh that's kind of what that looks like. It looks like, not a speculation, fact, said you've been a troll in the past, and we want to know if you're remorseful of it. Just recently you post. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so Franco, I get what you're saying. I've been a troll, sure. you know um it's definitely, I hate that. I hate that people feel like that to a certain degree. I made a video with another creator, and I mimicked, or I paralleled his style of videos to try to fit into something that they do and they're highly successful at, as kind of a tip to my hat of the following and everything that he's been able to do, right? um that the thing is, that video, there was a lot of fact in that video, right? Tyler and his grandpa, of course, were fictional. uh yeah. So yeah, I'm not here to hide behind anything. I'm not here to beat around the bush about anything. Like, I'm gonna be me regardless. Being me is what got me here. And I think that there's not a version of me. It all kinds, it kind of comes with it, right? Um, Reaching outside of Thor blending because Eddie wasn't returning their emails. Yeah, so our goal, part of our goal was to definitely reach outside of Thor blending because um we just want we don't we kind of know it's coming. Like we've all been here for a long time, and if we come out with stuff that looks the same and smells the same and works the exact same, and it's the same system and the same bottles with the same caps and the same safety seals and everything, what are you guys going to say? So we are conscious to that fact. And but at the end of the day, Christy and I are our own people, and we've been given the reins to kind of consult for this brand and build it within our vision, with the direction of Jamie and Eddie. And we're definitely going to do our thing and reach out to the connections that we've made. Maybe some are within Thor, but I think a lot of them so far have been pretty much outside of Eddie and Jamie. Like we haven't really had a conversation about chemicals with really anybody inside the Thor circle, and I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, man. So I love that you said that. So I'm kind of going off like this little script here and just kind of reading into the thing. It says you don't need a whole line. Just make stuff that is the bee's knees, and that's really what we're focusing on, right? Christy and I have talked about like a kind of a core group of products, and we're not out here trying to make 15 different types of snow foam or whatever. But the difference is in the event that we have, let's say, two soaps, maybe one is this type or one is another type. Our goal is to explain why we made the decision to do that within reason. It could be because a partner needed something to hit a certain margin. It could be because a certain partner doesn't like a blue one. It could be that simple. What we're not going to do if we have two things that are very similar, is try to fool people into thinking that's not what they are. Our goal is to be transparent on the labels and in the way that we sell things. And once again, focus on kind of the charity thing. Yeah, not doing that, Chingy Blingy. Sorry, bud. Already shouted you out just a bit. So, yeah. So just popping down to this tool cartel. I haven't seen that video. So he asked me something about an acid video from Pan the Organizer. Yeah, I think that's the good thing right here, and I want to touch on that. Right, so there's a lot of the whole history behind ceramic coating things. So Tool Cartel said it kind of really good here last week. He said, why does it matter who created the ceramic coatings? And I agree with that. Right, I don't know why we got to this point. I've brought this up on like other forums and other settings. Like I don't understand what the fascination really is with as soon as somebody has a product, people are racing to find their SDS sheet and racing to say, well, that's just, private labeled ultra look or ultra clean or this or that. And it's like, dude, try the product, right? Try the product. And if you think it is something else, buy that product too and put them head to head and see which one's better. And then who cares, right? That's the one thing I've tried to do is really take the bias out of any of it. I just use products that work, and and I'm like really bad at probably being a product tester and trying all these different products and trying to build a brand because I just kind of kept it like 100, man. Like I found a couple of products that worked, bought the line, kept it real simple. I'm hoping that we can create a following that just kind of does that same thing, sees it, kind of no frills, real simple messaging, and then we just can create something that we're proud of and that can raise money for charity, right? Yeah, Cards of Kiev. You said it, not me, brother. So cool. So somebody asked. So Tool Cartel Askell. He said, what do I do? Basically, outside of detail, he said he saw my channel about a test and passing it, and he was lost because he didn't know what the test was about. So what I do was I was in the military for 10 years as a what you call a SIGINT analyst. In the military, it's called a cryptologic technician communications. So we we just go out there and find the signals and put that in like a target package, and we give it to the people like who need it. And it could be what we call INW, which is this indication and warnings, usually of some sort of hostile communication or threat. And if somebody's in imminent danger, then obviously we pass that to the people that need it, and we try to help and aid in getting people home safely and ridding the world of those threats. Um, so the test that I had to take was, I'll just be honest, guys, it was a polygraph. So I know a lot of people have kind of followed that, and I'm kind of tired of uh, hitting around about it. I kind of lost that job potentially. I'm hoping that that I can continue doing the great work for this country through that work as an analyst. But um, I'm just in a weird place right now because I am really all in on HCC. I'm really all in on detailing, and um, it's a very interesting place to be in because my whole life I thought that where I'm at right now, as far as like working and stuff, was like what I wanted to do. And then this little thing called detailing came around, and it just kind of like woke me up, man. And I'm just so like excited to see what the future looks like with detailing, and just kind of harnessing this community and just kind of giving you guys everything that I have. And I just feel like I'm not good enough at my job because I'm just like so divided. And the reality is, somebody asked me a question, and I might get to it down here verbatim, right? But one of the questions that somebody asked was, what priority is honest car care for me right now? And the truthful answer to that is my kids and my family. They're always going to come first. That has to be number one priority, and then second has to be whatever job I have that's going to take care of them and aid me in being a provider and making sure they have food on the table. And honest car care is it's not something that's going to pay those bills right now, but I think that we've every inch of free time that we've had. I mean, if you guys look at it, I think I told you a couple weeks ago, I'm gonna try to put out full videos, and I'm gonna do my YouTube long form thing. And I haven't done that because I say from the time I wake up, if I'm not at my job, I'm on the phone with Christy. We're on the phone with different companies, trying to hear what they have to say, trying to see if there's somebody that we should partner with. Um, Yeah, Shine with Goldie, bro. I love you, man. Shout out Goldie in the chat, man. That is a guy that me and him go way back, like faux flats on a Cadillac. I love that guy, and I appreciate the reflection, man. And you got it, bro. I promise you that. Geez, now I'm off track. Um, but yeah, like honest car care has been what I think about when I go to bed and when I'm waking up. And I want to tell you guys a story today about why Christy and I maybe are kind of thinking about pivoting and just going this private label kind of route. I would love it to be like an open partnership or as unprivate as we can, but the nature is that like companies like that, they're private for a reason, right? Like they're making chemicals and they don't know what the heck we're going to do with them or somebody else is going to do with them. And if they can distance their name from me, potentially like, drinking chemicals online or something like that, like that's probably what they want to do. Right. So I'm not necessarily the only problem, but that's just the nature of how that works. But I want to tell you guys something about kind of a transparency. And it's just a weird thing. So I think Christy and I are really focused on being what the brand is, and that's honest. And not to get too spicy, but I felt like we kind of wasted our time today a little bit. We sat with some people today, and we were really excited, and we kind of got through that meeting a little bit and thought that something was going on. And not to get I don't want to get too crazy, but it seemed like we were being taken for a ride a little bit, right? And we were being told that this company made their own products and all these different things, kind of like all the stuff that you guys get upset because you see it online and it reverberates and stuff like that. And funny thing is, we went out. So once we got off the phone, we looked into some things and come to find out that they're white labeled or private labeled by Renegade. And so we spent an hour kind of talking to this company and trying to find a way to work together and kind of planning some stuff. And at the end, like there was just some different things that didn't feel right, and it kind of seemed like they wanted us to just kind of help spread their business kind of news and stuff like that. And we were just trying to do stuff for charity and make good chemicals and things like that. And we just felt really weird. And we kind of looked into it a little bit, and yeah, we kind of got duped, kind of. And that was kind of like not like the final straw or anything like that. Like we're still working with some other companies, but it's just there's just so much that can go on behind closed doors and all these other businesses. And it's almost easier for us, I think, to probably just like start from scratch, so we know that when we say that we're making something that's new or making something that's exciting, we can be honest about it, right? Because if we're partnering with somebody who's not even being honest to us, and then you guys see that, then and we're and say we try to do an open partnership because we want to be transparent, and then you say, well, that's just this product, and we're just like, oh. So obviously we're doing our own research and stuff like that, but it was just kind of one of those things where it was just like super frustrating, because I think if anything, Christy's time is very limited, and I think both of us are. And time is one of the only things that you just won't get back in this world. And I think if we could get that hour and a half back, maybe we would at this point. So and I hate to be that blunt, but that's just some of the stuff we're dealing with, man. Like there's people out there that see Christy, obviously superstar, and it was really uncomfortable because they kind of kept coming at her, and wanting to, hey, will you hawk our products for us? And we're like, dude, that's not why we're here. Like we're here to for sure help people, and we don't need to do that by like, yeah, it was just very frustrating. All right, let me see if I can find anything else spicy in here, dude, because there was some heat, man. So cool. This isn't spicy, but cool. So it says, what's your goal? Tony Severance. I can't be saying these names because some of you guys try to slip stuff in there, but we had Tony 7321. He said, what's your goal of giving back to the community? Is it developing future detailers, giving to charity, or what? Well, I think it's a combination of both. I think uh, in the military, I had the opportunity to lead and be taught, but also be a teacher. And Christy is a natural teacher, obviously, that she's a professional teacher. So I would imagine that anything that we do would be combining, things that we're already like somewhat good at. And I think that we both see detailing in different ways as something that uh, kind of has changed our life. Like for me, I always say that detailing saved my life, right? And the truth is, and I talked about on the EOD podcast pretty candidly on Sunday. This time last year, I wasn't sure that I wanted to keep living. To be frank with you guys, I had failed my test for my job. I didn't fail, but I didn't pass, and I was thinking like, yeah, I was just like really down on myself. Like I spent all this time away from my kids, my wife, our relationship has struggled from all that, and it was all to get to this job that I thought that I had to have, and then I couldn't pass this one test, and you know, being in the military, there's a price on your head. I know exactly how much money my family will get if I pass away, and being an analyst, you start trying to make things work and figure it out. And there was some dark days, man. And detailing was one of those things that gave me hope that even now, as I'm losing my job, I know that if I just go run some ads, I get out there, I can fill my calendar up, and I'll be able to survive. And if it's not just with the detailing, it's with the content creation. I'm no stranger. No, I'm not ashamed to admit that we make money via content, right? And that's why I try to give back as much as I can, because if I got it, then you got it. Like that's how I was raised. If I got it, then everybody else around me is going to have it within reason, right? If I know that we're all riding together, I'm giving back. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I try not to live too crazily in excess. I think we're in a great point in my life personally. But yeah, as far as giving back to the community, it would absolutely have to do with developing future, I think, entrepreneurs, future leaders. But also for me, I just want to give people hope. So when I was 8 months old, that's when life, funny enough, like that's when I started needing something extra that um I had somebody that took a chance on me when I was 8 months old, and that same person was constant throughout my life, and there was a whole team of people at times that helped raise me. But the biggest thing is that those people believed in me, they gave me hope, and they set expectations. And I am such a strong believer that it literally takes one person, one interaction, to change your life, to change somebody's life. And if I can get the opportunity to find a young man or a young woman or just anybody who's struggling in this world and give them hope to wake up the next day, then that's truly what my passion is. It doesn't have to be through detailing. I see people all the time in elevators and we just talk because I don't believe that there's not chance. I don't believe in chance encounters. Everything in this world that happens, my life is a true testament of this, is for a reason. And I just hope that whatever honest, does turn into that it just gives us both opportunities to go back into the public. I'm not looking to save anybody's life. Maybe I'll meet somebody else that saves my life again. Maybe things start to go dark again and I meet somebody who tells me their story and I realize, you know what? What I got going on ain't that damn bad. Because that's the reality of it. But I just want to hope. I hope that I can um, spotlight and give people hope and let them know that they matter because that's truthfully the community of people that raised me. That's what they did was they continue to tell me that I was important, that I was here for a reason, that that I had a future that was being unrealized. I wasn't living up to my potential. Um, and they kept me motivated and working towards some goals that I couldn't even see. If you would have told me, you know, at 10 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, that, you know, I'd be where I'm at right now, I wouldn't believe you, right? It's really unbelievable. And I'm just very humbled to even be in half the positions I'm in right now. So, yeah, that's the goal. It's certainly going to be giving back to different communities through detailing, hopefully holding training seminars, hopefully being able to donate checks to different charities in from the proceeds of Honest, or getting out there and just doing a lot of stuff. And I can't answer all that because we're just not there right now. But that's what the mission here is to make a transparent brand, take you guys for the ride, build things in your image, right? And first and foremost, and always, it's going to be give back to charity and just make a difference and an impact in this world. Um, okay. Um, cool. So, are we going to target detailers or enthusiasts? So, this is another one from Hawker. Great question. So, that's a funny thing. When we were first asked to kind of do Honest, we were under the impression that we were just going to do like we were going to be Thor's like professional line of products, like stuff in ugly bottles, gallon jugs, 5 gallon jugs. And, when people needed, heavy duty chemicals, concentrates, and stuff like that, like that's kind of what niche we would feel. And it seems like things have, as we've been able to give our own input and things like that, things have kind of been flexible. And I think what Christy and I are hoping to do is develop a brand that can be a lot of different things. But we want to be transparent on how we get there. So we're going to start out with concentrates, just like I guess any other brand. And if as we branch from as pure concentrate as we can, we plan on taking you guys through the journey via those labels. For example, we want to have, let's say, a pH 14 degreaser or something like that. But the reality is, if we find out or if we get an opportunity to partner with Walgreens or a major retail store, for one, there's a certain margin that has to exist, right? It has to be worth it to them, just like anything that you're trying to sell. Um, so what we plan to do is say, hey, if this was our base product and we have to get to like this margin, we're going to explain potentially what that dilution ratio would look like or how we got there, um, and just be honest on the back of the bottle as far as like what this is. We're not trying to sit there and give a revolutionary backstory to every new product. We're going to be transparent and be like, yeah, this is our parent chemical line here, which we can certainly do the concentrates, but our goal is to raise money for charity. So if Walmart or somebody, or anybody, I don't know about Walmart, but if anybody comes along, I don't know what position we'll be in to say no, right? Because at the end of the day, our goal is not necessarily to have the most potent chemicals. We certainly can, right? Eddie, Jamie, they've given us the resources. We have done a lot of research and we found some different places. But at the end of the day, there's a lot that goes into what finally gets in that bottle. It depends on your partner. It depends on your demographic of who you're trying to sell to. And you might try to sell to one demographic and you find out, man, we got to pivot because they ain't buying. You know. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Cool, cool. But yeah, we have developed a system right now that absolutely can cater to both without compromise. And I think I'm very proud of what that is. And I hope that we're able to kind of give you guys a brief here pretty soon. I would prefer to see a documentary style videos on this process. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. So hopefully you like it. It won't be exactly like a documentary, but um, we're working on that. It's just me and Christy. So if you see a video that's highly edited and looks really cool and stuff, it's because she did it or I did it, right? We don't have a media team. We are the media team. We are the content. We are the people making the calls, getting the people on the line. We are not being helped really at all. And that's by design. We're here to sink or swim. And it's kind of a testament to who we are as people. And I feel really good about the direction and the strides we've made really just in the last probably 48 hours. Very excited. Yeah, here's that question. It says, you're the self-described entrepreneur. Where does honest car care fall into the Thor in your priorities? Is this number one or number five? And I think I already answered that, but I'll just reiterate that giving back to people outside of providing for my wife and kids is up there with anything, right? You know, so and hopefully you guys continue to see that part of me over everything. And I hope that the more you understand maybe the content style or stuff like that, you'll find the tidbit in the information, the tidbit of what I was really trying to say within stuff. And I'll just try to be a lot more transparent in the way that I present myself. When it comes to all this stuff. And hopefully can get out there and make some more long form content and, just continue to connect with people. I think that's been the thing is one thing I'm guilty of personally is when you talk about where my priorities were, my priorities when it came to doing content creation were on the platforms where I was getting revenue from because my priority is to provide for my family. YouTube isn't one of those platforms and, Instagram wasn't. I think I had like 2,000 people on my Instagram, like before I really started trying to do anything with it, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 months ago. And now we have 20,000 people just because I like made an effort. So I feel confident that, if you put energy towards something, hopefully you get something out of it. And I think we'll continue to grow with this community. And I've already made some strides to kind of clean some stuff up. So I have a lot of automations that run, being the AI guy, an automation guy, really. I had automations that were running prior to SEMA, just to kind of get through my thousands of videos that I had on other platforms. I've since kind of turned a lot of those off or I've made them in a way. So like I do a lot of series of videos. So like I might do part 1 of the best detailing products to buy at Walmart. Well, the way I had to set it before is you would always get the newest videos. So you would always get like, part 6, and then you would see part 5 on every platform is backwards. So I've switched that around because I care about you guys and I want to improve our connection and that user experience. So I hope that that's starting to make a difference. So yeah, we've already talked about cybersecurity. Yeah, essentially that's what I do. I'm getting a degree in computer science. I'm getting a master's degree right now in artificial intelligence. Um, I hope that I can do something great with it. If I could pick any job in the world, I would just do what Christy does and be a teacher. And trust me, when as I'm going through and kind of losing this job, I've looked into it a few times as far as what do I needed to do to get a teaching credential. There's a part of me that wishes that I could just be a teacher and a football coach and go just live that whole life. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities at this point. Kind of looking at everything. Uh, Yeah, so there a couple episodes ago, we did show some different snow foams. And that'll get us to the next thing, and I think we just need to talk about it, like the whole logo thing. It's still a thing in progress. At the end of the day, we'll make decisions, but once again, we're here to consult. We're here to put this brand in a position to where it's successful. We're all going to try to come up with some good ideas, and in the event that we come up with some bad ones, I'm sure that you guys will let us know. But also, if we come out with something and we like it, we're not just going to change it, unless it's just like a really terrible idea. Like we're always going to be humble and listen. But we are still working on the complete brand vision, and I think that's why we said, stop worrying about the logo, stop worrying about this, stop worrying about that. We had a great conversation today, and it was just like, let's get back to the basics. Let's call some people. Let's get some chemicals. Let's clean some wheels and clean our just clear our minds, man. Let's just do what we do and just detail, and maybe something will come to us. Um, Personally, I'll just say that I kind of like the bottles and stuff that we had. I don't care a whole lot about the logos and everything like that. I hope that we make something that everybody's proud of, and I hope that we make something that raises a butt ton of money for charity, and we can change people's life. So that's my priority. Yeah, man. Well, Christy, I've talked for a good long time. I think that you come on and you just kind of just let everybody know that the queen is here, teacher of the year is here. Maybe I don't know. Hi, bud.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Isn't
Hi,
that so
everybody.
nice to be able to like get that feedback? I'm always on my podcast, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Anyway, sorry for talking.
No, that's okay. We were having some issues before. Hello, everybody. I was about to say happy Monday, but I forget it's a Thursday now. It's going to be hard to
My fault.
no, that's okay to get used to.
Yeah.
And yes, thank you, Jamie and Gary. Thank you for that heartfelt message. It really is me. It's not AI. I promise.
Oh my god, freaking.
Hey, Adamo. Hello, everybody. I've been sitting here in the background and definitely AI. That would be kind of cool, right? The whole like hologram thing. I don't know. I'd be into that. But I have been sitting back and I do agree that after conversations that Gary and I had today with some individuals, I am ready to go. I am so excited to get some products into our hands to test and just kind of figure out where we are going with this. And yeah, you all know me. I do want to wash a wheel. So I'm definitely looking forward to. I know George was saying in here, that he wanted to see some like documentary style videos, and that's exactly what we are going to bring you guys. Again, be patient with us as we kind of, figure out exactly what it's going to look like. But this is definitely our plan, just to kind of show you the process from, start to finish of us testing things and doing it live or, not live, just depending on how it goes. But, just bringing you guys through the whole process. So I'm definitely ready to get going. Say pizza. Pizza, Jay. Pizza.
Good Lord. Yeah.
I can open a bucket. I can. Gary, you don't know that whole do
I
you
don't
know
know
that
anything. That's the thing. Like, I feel so bad. I don't think that's one thing that I've really touched on is like, I don't think I've ever explained why I don't do long form, and I'm not gonna bore you guys to death, but my short-term memory is like really bad because of my disability. So like if I script something out, it's just like it's really hard for me to get through the script. And that's why I've always leaned on like short form like content. So the reason why I'm telling you that is a lot of these people in the chat, like I think I know who some of these people are, but like I just don't know. Like I just forget. Like, and it's not, and I hate it because I just feel like I'm gonna be so disrespectful. Like that happened to me a couple times at SEMA. Like people like that I would talk to, like maybe from like my groups and stuff like that. They're like, "Hey man, don't you remember me?" And I'm like, "I don't, bro." Like, and it's not because you're not
we should be
special.
honest.
Yeah, I'm like, "I'm sorry, bro." Like, I will make a point to like take a snapshot now. But it got me a couple times. Like, I'll just be honest. Like, Mike from IGL. I was like, I had talked to him like so many times, but I was getting him confused with somebody else, and I was just like, I know that's not right. And then we figured out why. It's because he told me he retired, and I was confused because now he was at the booth. I'm like, well, I thought the guy I was talking to was retired. And he's like, no, I retired from my other job, and now I do IGL. And I was like, there you go. So, anyways, I'm rambling.
Jay said should have recorded that conversation that we had earlier.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We did. Trust
Yeah.
me, we can air them out, but it's not even worth it, guys. Like,
Yeah.
it was a really awkward thing. I'm
We
sorry.
we had a couple different conversations. Yeah. One was very awkward, and I really think they kept testing me, like wondering if I was a real detailer. I'm like, it really
Yeah.
brought back the whole like, no, I'm just a fake detailer, just fake. So
No,
it was kind of weird, but
it made me uncomfortable because, like, even though I know you don't need that, like, I just wanted to be like, I was about to start barking, dude. Like, this back off. Like, I don't know how many times like they like didn't question me, but then we found out the reason why they kept doing that is because they wanted her to like hawk their products because the public responds so much better when the girls do it. And it's just like, and the thing is, we were talking to a female, and it's
yeah,
just like,
it was odd.
this is a real entrepreneur, content creator, talented person, and you're just trying to demean her to, oh, you're a female, so will you hawk my products? Like, nah, bro, we're good. You can keep the I love Garrett to death, but you can keep that renegade stuff, and you're good to go.
We have panel by panel saying, I don't know why, but the whole charity thing throws me off.
What are you throwing off about? Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, put it in the chat what your concern is. Because yeah, that's definitely something to speak on. I did star a few questions that people had. Let's see. One person asked if I think you touched on it a little bit, if we'd narrowed down the logo. And Gary and I think we've kind of gone back and forth. And at the end of the day, yes, I do still want to put a poll out there. I did tell Gary that, like, I really do still want to put a poll again to see what the community thinks, what the industry, standard, what is status quo. But at the end of the day, obviously the decision that we're going to make, it's going to be, it'll go, it'll work.
It'll figure it out.
It'll work.
The reality is, like, we could come out with something we're proud of, and Eddie and Jamie could just be like, "This is our logo," and we'd be like, "Yes, sir." So it's not like they would do that, but it's like
Mm.
I don't think we're either of us are trying to get too wrapped around it. I think we just kind of take it back to the basics and just start trying to make some good stuff from scratch.
Yeah.
We
Oh, panel, I see what you're saying. He's saying, I never donate my change at the grocery store. It's like I know it's a scam. Everything in 2025 is a scam, especially charity. Not saying you know, in general. I totally understand. I understand that feeling. I've kind of, you know, I'm a little weary when people ask me to round up, you know, at grocery stores and things. So I totally get that. I think the difference here is that we actually hope to, you know, be traveling to a few, you know, places this year or next year. You know, lower socioeconomic status areas, or, you know, where charities, whatever charity we decide to go with, and actually do trainings with, you know, with a few organizations and such. So I think that you're going to see the charity thing kind of shine through, because I think you will actually get a look at exactly who it is that we are giving to. It's not like it's just going to be round up your change at checkout, you know what I mean? And then you never see the work that's done or us follow through. Does
and
that
can
make sense?
Yeah, and I want to touch on that a little bit, right? So, in the nonprofit work that I've done, I found out that it's really, really hard. Obviously, that's the nature of it. But what's so hard about it is you're trying to sell somebody an ideology, right? You're trying to sell somebody an idea or a goal, and I think that's truthfully what makes nonprofit work so hard, because a lot of times there's not a tangible thing like, here's this. The thing about us is all the charity work and all the giving and all that stuff, like, that's being handled, by the parent company, right? We're here as consultants. We're not really making anything from that situation. And we're here just to, like, so we're gonna give you guys a good product, right? So regardless of anything else, you're going to get something in your hand that's not just a promise, right? You're gonna get some really good products. So I think that's how you start out there. So
Yeah. George, I really like everything that you are given to the chat tonight. So go for creating some basic products that are top notch. Show us exactly what they are, how they're produced, and how the raised money will end up in charity.
that's the
And I
plan,
think
dude.
people will jump on board. Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. Like once you see the process and how this all lays out,
Yeah.
we
Right.
will show
Do
you.
you know this just George character in person, or have his Sky? Or
You
is he
mean
just like a fan of the this because he's been really gracious and commented
yeah, no,
on.
George is great. George is great. He's part of the industry, part of the community.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just
Oh
trying to
yeah.
learn on the
Oh
fly.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just gonna shout him out because he's been gracious enough to
Yeah,
comment
he's
on a lot of my
amazing.
videos and just been like,
Everybody in here.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we love
Really
George.
cool. Yeah. No, I was sorry if that came out weird. I was just trying
No,
to
no,
learn.
no, it's okay. No, it's
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna
He's
say
been
no, but yeah, you're fine. I wasn't going to I thought you meant like, are we, you know, do we live next to each other? Do we, you know, hang out? No, not like that,
yeah,
but we are
so
all friends.
I just wanted to give you perspective, right? Christian from Bile Bombs ordered stuff from my website, right? Didn't even know. Don't even know his last name. He's a good looking guy, right? And I get on my thing and he's tagging me in the products and I'm going through and I'm like, oh, okay, now I know his name, right? Keith did the same thing when he ordered the foam cannons. I was like, I would have never known, but like, it makes sense now. Like, I see his
Yeah.
last name. I'm just an idiot, dude. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like way too focused in like the weeds, and sometimes I don't see what is right in front of me. So I apologize. So I was just making sure that wasn't a situation with George,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
he's like
no.
the CEO of like, whatever, and I'm like just having casual conversations with him in my comment sections.
It could be. Who knows?
Who knows, man? So cool. Um, yeah, trolling tips from Kiev. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
We had a couple more questions. Let's get those. Steve asked, what has been the hardest part about finding partners outside of the Thor network?
Okay. You go on that first, and then I'll lead it because that's what we really talked about all day today.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I think, and I'm going to speak for myself, Gary, and then you can speak on your behalf, and then we'll kind of mesh it all together.
Absolutely.
You know, for me, I am very familiar with Thor brands. I'm very familiar with the chemicals that Thor carries. I've used them, I've tested them. I have them in my possession. So I think for me, the hardest part going outside of Thor right now is I don't know these brands. I've never tried their chemicals. So to try to talk to a company about possibly collabing with them on a chemical is difficult when you've never used them.
Yeah.
And so that for me, and I've spoke to Gary about that, is the most challenging part, because the way I see it is I need some samples. I need to try some things before I know that you're somebody that I want to jump in bed with. So Steve, I hope that answered your question. And Gary, if you want to add on to that.
Yeah, and I think I have to be the worst partner when it comes to that because I just listen to people and like what they have to say, and we just like have conversations because my belief is that like chemicals are just chemicals, and we'll figure it out. Like we'll just turn up the concentration, or we'll just figure it out. Like that's how I feel about it. Like truthfully, I just want to partner with some cool people. But we've had to, I think the hard part has been being able to protect. And I talked to Eddie and Jamie about this offline today. But making sure that our decisions are in the interest of not just honest car care, but we're protecting. I think they say protect the shield, right? Like I think we saw today where somebody I think was looking to kind of attach to whatever they could to get more than the 6,000 views that they're normally getting on their Instagram when they pay for promotions. And sorry if that stings a little bit, but Thor's a powerhouse, and there's a lot of successful people within that, and there's a lot of people that might want to join with us for just like personal gain. And at the end of the day, like we're trying to partner with them because we see the impact that they're making in like their communities, and we're hoping that we can we're hoping that can help us like either raise more money or raise more awareness, or I think we had good intentions with it, and I'm not saying that every relationship's been bad, but there's also a lot of investment that these companies have already made, and they don't want to give up any of that equity. So I think that's kind of been kind of an eye opener for sure.
Yeah, cool. And then I think there was one last question. Have you thought of partnering with some of the smaller brands you have highlighted previously to help create your products?
I mean, we could talk about one. I think.
Can we?
I don't know. I mean, we have permission. Yeah. So to answer, yes, absolutely. That's what we hope to do, right? We spent kind of the last week and a half or so talking to maybe some bigger names, and we noticed that like maybe that's it's tough, right? When you call the guy who is the best in the world at doing something, what do you have to offer him, right? Well, there's always something, and if we want it, we'll figure it out. But we also want to highlight some of these mom and pops detail shops, supply companies, chemical companies. We absolutely do that, and that's where we'll start is going back into those communities and hopefully helping them not only get their name out there on a national scale. I love that. That's what we said. Like we want to go instead of trying to start at the top and use whatever influence that we have or whatever grassroots campaign, getting on the phone, calling local distributors, chemical companies, mom and pop stores, and let's just see if we can partner with them, get our products in their stores, and just really sludge it out. I think that's what we looked forward to doing.
Yeah. One product from each small company would be sick, like verified by you guys. Yeah, that's exactly.
That's literally
That's
the
literally
plan.
that's the plan.
Yep.
Yeah,
We,
that is the
we, we have a very good thing coming. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna get fired. No, Tracy's
No.
gonna fire me, dude. No, I don't think we'll figure it
So
out.
yeah. Do you feel, Gary, like we've been on for about an hour. Do you feel like you've answered the burning questions that you had to answer?
Yeah, man. You guys were risen me up, I think a little bit, or not risen me up, but whatever the right word is, like rousing me up or rile me up or whatever. Like, I looked at it truthfully. There's a couple comments about the KCX stuff and the videos on that. I probably should just put out my interview that I did with KCX, and maybe that would dim that flame a little bit because it was really, really positive. I just need to get some time. But yeah, I think I'm happy with everything. I'm super happy to just be a part of the community. You know, I'm always going to be me and do my own thing. You know, but the biggest thing for me and the reason why I did this is because I care a whole lot about Eddie. I care a whole lot about Jamie, and I definitely care a whole lot about Christy. And you know, I don't want things to get to a point where they don't like, you know, they feel like they're losing their audience, or um you know, they're uncomfortable because I don't know what it is about this podcast in particular, but I don't get overly emotional, and I feel like maybe I don't like, maybe it's just the time of the week, right? But on every else podcast, I feel like I just connect and like we just talk and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm just like here for business, and I'm like here to like just talk about honest and, you know, like the brand. And you know, you guys, this specific captive audience just hasn't seen that part of me, and you guys have. So it's like I don't want you to feel like you always have to like fight for me or fight, you know, have my back or whatever. You know, I just wanted to use this time to maybe like dig my way out and just tell you guys that I love you. You know, I literally in every single one of my videos, that's what I say, and I want to tell you guys why. Is because there's some people in this world that maybe that's what they need to hear. Maybe they haven't heard that all day, all week, all month. And that's why every single one of my videos at the end, I just say, I love you guys. Peace. Right. Cause I love all you guys, whether it's Jamie, Eddie, you, the people out there. And I just want to do good in this world, because the people who raised me that took a chance on me in my life, that's what they're about. And if I can be half the, you know, quarter of the person that some of these people impacted me or Christy or any of you guys, like I think I'll be all right. You know, I'll be happy with how my life went, and that's kind of the direction I want to go.
Yeah. Well, I love that Jay just said Gary doesn't know what he's in for, which is kind of funny. And I have to tell you that I think like almost every person in this chat has definitely impacted my life. So you'll feel it, Gary. We all will.
Sure, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
So next week, we will be back again on Thursday. It will look a little different.
Okay.
What's up, Sal? Thank you.
So is next Thursday is going to be our first, like, you know, building honesty. Is that so?
Yeah.
We got to get to work, dude.
Yeah, we got to get to work. So next week will be more of our like episodic you know, point to kind of the business and where we are so far and what we've done. More of the documentary style, we're hoping. But again, you guys, as I said, you know, you're growing with us. Like this is definitely, you know, at the beginning stages. And so hopefully, you know, we're going to throw some things together, but this will develop and it'll develop right in front of your eyes. And I think that's kind of exciting.
Heck
So yeah, definitely. Jamie over here repping
Ryobi, dude.
You know, it worked for me. That's what I had before my active, and it was good.
Hey, man. Hey, I got that Greenworks. The video may or may not come out in the next 10 to 15 years. It's like half filmed, and once I stop doing something, I just kind of like am over it.
Yeah.
So that was a fun time. What about on your own personal channels? You got anything coming up for the holidays or anything?
Oh my God, I am so behind on content. Were you talking to me, Gary, or the chat?
No, I'm talking to you. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
You are here on my screen, and the chat is here on my screen. So
I definitely have some content to put out, but I am definitely so behind. So I have I have one more week. So one more week actually after tomorrow, 4.5 days, and then I have 3 weeks off. And so I plan to be pumping out definite content because those breaks give me the time to do so. Hopefully.
Heck yeah, dude.
So
well, I think we'll be doing a lot of filming for our stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna shameless plug really because Eddie and Jamie, but they were gracious enough to kind of bless whatever community I have that kind of shows up, and we're gonna do 12 days of giving through the That Detail Guy channels. And I just want to shout them out and say thanks, right? So it's a lot of good stuff from some of the biggest brands.
Awesome.
So in addition to that, you know, my own money, I'm gonna, as soon as we get off here, just buying stuff, trying to find stuff from those small creators or those small platforms. and just get it all sent to the house and just give it away, man. So yeah, it's cool time. So we
So
will put some
you
stuff out.
didn't know Sal said, "I didn't know Christy was so shy." I'm not shy. Am I? I'm not shy.
No comment.
Definitely not shy.
It was like a trap.
That might be. Might be. He might be trolling me at that point. So yeah, so please stay tuned, guys. Next week, bringing you something a little bit different. Kind of kick us off with, you know, building this honest car care, you know, brand and taking you guys with us. As I said, hopefully we have the logo going forward. But that again, that might be part of that episodic process, you know, going back and forth here. So I do appreciate all of you guys for taking the time again to always show up and always join. I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, for sure.
You good, Gary?
I'm good. What do we do? Like an outro or anything? Or we just like shut it down, just hit the end?
We say, I love y'all and see you next time.
Dude, that's what I do. That's my thing. I love you guys. Peace.
Bye.
All right. See you guys later.
Oh.